Welcome everybody to the final leg of the Winter Spectacular. So here's how this leg is going to go. We're going to play a couple party games. Literally just a couple. Then we're going to play a few more top 10 lists. And then you're going to see the final video of the silliness that happened over the Saturday this year. Some of which might have...
Oh my goodness. Whoa.
Earthquake.
Are we good?
I think we're good.
Are you going to be in
From the top?
I lost my train of thought, so, okay. So
You're going to see a montage at the end of all of this today.
Yes.
Of some funny highlights from the year that you folks sent in to us, selections, and we've cut some of that together. And by we, I mean Chris Yee.
So
You
if you
never
don't
know
like
what you're
it,
going to get.
it's Chris.
That's correct. If you do like it, it's us.
So we're playing Faces here. Face is just a very simple game. This is actually a modification of the original game where I made custom cards that show various pictures I found on the internet. Now,
Yes. Got it. Did I have to also hit that one?
Oh.
Hey.
We turn off the green screen.
Nothing quite like our arms.
ba-da-da-da. All right. So, anywho, also it's a
clothing
little
commercial?
odd. Let me show another
Whitewash.
picture.
There you go.
Oh, okay, it was just that guy.
Oh, she's so happy.
Anyhow, so a couple caveats here. I pulled these off the internet 15 years ago. It's been a long time. If one of them is you or your family member, someone you admire or hate, I'm sorry, don't put yourself on the internet. When we criticize
We
these
would
people,
never do that.
we're criticizing them based on just silliness, not who they are or whatever.
Yes.
That's enough caveats. Also, if you take the game that seriously, switch over somewhere else. All right, so I'm going to put like a whole deck of these down there. Everyone draw 8 of them. Well,
Okay.
one deck down there and one deck over
Do
here.
you go back in something?
Yeah, we'll put them in a pile. We'll never get to them. Everyone gets 8 cards. So everyone draw 8 cards.
Wow.
8.
Oh no, did I put that backwards?
1, 2.
So Chris will be our judge 1, and it's pretty simple, just like apples to apples. He's going to
Those
draw
are
a
really
card.
cold, Tom. Did you put them in the refrigerator?
No, the studio is that cold except this room.
Feels real. I almost did that same thing. And I thought that'd be too much.
So there's
I
a
didn't
pink
do
card
it.
with 6 options on it. You'll pick one. He'll read it to us. We'll all throw a card in the middle. Mike, you're in the middle, so you'll mix them up,
And
place them face up. We will then convince or not convince Chris to pick one. He'll pick one. If he picks yours, you get a point. Troy,
Oh,
thank you.
Troy.
thank you,
For the super
Troy.
chat. That's true. Yes, I appreciate you the tip, as it will.
Thank you.
All right, Chris, we'll pick one of those.
Right.
All right, pick one.
This is going to be the most misunderstood.
The person that's the most misunderstood, huh?
Most misunderstood.
Also, if you liked our videos,
picks
wow. So if you like our video, give it a thumbs up, too.
Who picks it?
Chris is going to be the one
Chris is
picking.
picking?
You're playing to the judge. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Yeah.
7. There'll be 6 cards in the middle. All right, mix them, Mike.
Right.
And yes, this is a very homebrewed copy. I really need to update this, but it was a lot of work.
I
Stretching the
bet.
pictures.
Do we take a random one from the deck and throw in there too? Is
Sometimes
that
Do we
all
want to play with one? Yeah, why not? We'll play with a
Yeah,
computer.
Throw a random one in
Like
there
it.
too.
All right.
That's the audience.
That's you. That's
the
your
audience.
choice.
Yeah, the audience.
choice.
Thank you, Patrick, for the super chat.
Woo.
What's with? I mean, we've got some really supportive Canadian people here. I think that's 2 Canadian super chats.
Go, Canada.
How do you
All right, here we go.
Canadian?
Because of the CA there.
Yeah.
10
Canadian dollars.
Yeah, those are Canadian dollars.
It's loony.
That's worth even
Right.
more than U.S. dollars.
Here we go. Here's our
Most
flop.
misunderstood.
Most misunderstood.
Wow.
Who? No, I think. I never wanted to be a pirate.
There we go. Who's the most misunderstood, Chris?
The most misunderstood. Anyone want to make any cases? For
Well,
No.
I think card 3 is too obvious of a choice. I think the pirate's a good call.
We know which one Tom
because,
didn't put out.
Because the pirate, you know, everyone looks at that guy and they think pirate, biker. That guy actually wants to play the piano the way I'm stealing that from Tangled.
There's the Dwight wannabe.
That is.
You think?
Come on,
pretty
Chris.
Dwight.
The Dwight wanna
Be
be.
your own man, Chris. Be your own. Really?
The most misunderstood. He kind of looks
Do I
like.
take it back?
No, you get the pink card.
Yes.
Which is what, 100 points?
This was the correct choice.
Thanks.
All right.
That's
Oh, I'm
yours?
sorry, I shot yours down.
You
right away.
shot mine down.
Who was the pirate?
Thank you,
What's the
Angela.
pirate?
Who was the
Angela
pirate?
Genway.
Who was Dwight?
Thank you guys.
Wait, who was the pirate? No, that was the people's choice. I was picking.
That was?
That's fantastic.
That's
Who
great.
had one to be Dwight?
Yeah, who
That's
was this
mine.
one?
All right, so we each draw another card,
Yeah,
right?
just draw another card. And Wendy, your choice.
Pretty good Z, but it looked a little too much.
Thank you,
like-
Angela, for the super chat.
Thank you.
From the U.S. I think. I don't know.
Does it matter what color I
Yes, the
pick?
Podfather is.
It doesn't matter what color.
matter
it is.
Yeah, the
Right?
Podfather had to drive back up to where he lives. So.
Hey, Tom.
Yes.
Does it matter what color I pick?
No, you do whatever.
No, you pick anyone.
Whatever one you think is fun.
Anything.
I numbered them in case someone couldn't pick them. They would roll a die, but I've never had anyone do that.
Okay.
Well,
Charlie Brown.
Wait, what?
Charlie Brown.
That's all we have to go for?
That's all you got.
Okay.
what?
Hey,
People's
I didn't
choice.
make this game. I just picked it.
Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown.
And then a random one.
No, no, we
already
did
did-
that.
Oh, you did the random?
Oh, I
You know,
should draw a card back.
I haven't heard Charlie Brown as like an instruction since that dance. It's like 2 steps this time, 2 steps this time, Charlie Brown.
Yeah, nah, I normally, the only thing is like
What
you'll
dance
hear.
is that? Thank you, Chuck.
Thank
The
you.
cha-cha slide.
The cha or no, is that the cha cha slide?
Isn't that what it's called?
Everybody,
Very
clap
good.
your hands.
That was really weird timing.
What? What am I missing here? Oh,
I'm missing it too. Oh, that. No, boo.
You're just like.
Maybe.
respond-
Charlie Brown. Let's see.
Charlie
Okay.
Brown.
No, I always criticize all of it. Wait. Come on, I'm confused.
The cha. Okay, you're at the
I
cha
love
cha
Cha
slide.
Slide, yeah.
There you go.
Do you think number 2 is Charlie Brown in his teenage years?
I
Oh,
think
you're
so.
looking at pictures. I thought you were responding to chat.
yeah, I didn't.
Yeah,
I,
I think-
was so lost.
Oh, no. You can look right there. There's the pictures.
I can also look right here. There's pictures.
It's hard to turn my head.
Oh.
It's shiny.
It's hard to turn my head.
No, I'm-
Tom Vest.
I'm definitely gonna pick the teenager with the glasses, man.
This
Definitely
one?
looks like
not
Charlie
this
Brown.
one?
No.
That's
That one
Harry
doesn't have
Potter.
glasses.
I mean-
That's Harry Potter. Whose is this?
People's choice.
People's Choice
It's
one?
mine.
Oh, you took too long to
Roy gets-
respond there.
All right, that's
Y'all
yours,
are all
Roy.
acting like it's a negotiation game, so I'm like trying to like play it closer to the chest. Like, what in the world?
Once she picks it, you're allowed to be like, mine. You can't take it
Well, they were all
back.
trying to talk her out of it. I don't know what's
All right,
going
throw me
on.
one of these things.
I had your back there, Roy.
Let's see what we've got. Okay.
It's because that was your picture from high school.
Shut
The
up,
one
man.
who believes that their
It
home is
definitely was my
haunted.
dad's. That's
The
for
one who believes that
The
their
one
home
who
is
believes that their home is haunted. Here we go. Hit me with it. The one who believes that their home, oh, it's haunted.
Haunted away.
I'm gonna
All
throw
right,
a
let's
random
see.
one in there
Throw
too.
it in
Got it.
there.
I'll let you handle that, Mike.
Not
right.
liking any of these.
All right, let's
Is
see
that
what we've
all right?
got. What do we
All
got, Mike?
Right?
We're serious.
Let's see what we've got.
Draw a
I
replacement.
love their chat one. Sorry.
Here we go. Here's our
Let's see, what do we got?
Here's
Okay,
our set.
hit me with it.
Bam.
Oh, absolutely.
That guy is the guy hiding in your closet.
Because he murdered the entire family, and they're all still there.
It's haunted.
He wants to let the whole neighborhood know that his house
yeah.
is haunted.
He's on the street corner.
This guy is like
Pennywise. He's trying to be Pennywise. Is what he's trying to do.
okay.
Very smug about
She's
being
telling people that her house is haunted while ordering a latte.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A Hante latte.
Wow. Whoa.
I love
I'll
it.
tell you what, buddy.
shit,
Oh, it's
man.
haunted. It doesn't think it's haunted. It is haunted.
he's the
I
guy
think he's
there.
the one haunting it.
He's coming to perform the exorcism.
That could be it too.
That's fair.
And she just
No.
came out of the TV.
That's right.
That's
She's
all-
She could be a final
She's the girl from The Ring for sure. And this guy is in passing telling you it's haunted.
He's like, yeah, it's
my house is haunted.
It's haunted.
As he opens up a bottle of wine, you know. A lot of these are very good, but I think I have to go. This is really good, but I'm gonna go with that one. I'm thinking.
Wow.
Hand it over.
Really?
That one, yeah.
might be.
Yeah.
Whose was the old guy?
That was
Prisoner.
mine.
That was a great one.
That was a really
Great
good
one.
one, right?
Very good one. Very
Might be
good.
Ted
Wasn't good
Kaczynski.
enough.
I know. Well, you got a point.
Right.
Some of us don't have a point yet.
Okay, Mike, what do you got?
Was that David Tennant with the red
spicy.
nose?
Yes, that was David Tennant.
That was actually David
That
Tennant.
was
okay.
it, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Oh,
5, 6.
man.
We get 8 cards.
Yes,
That's
thank
right.
you, Happy Gamer.
Happy Gamer,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Thanks.
All right,
for
we're
the
gonna go with the one who is. I won't do that. I really want to though.
Do what you want.
The one who is not wearing
No.
pants
The one that's not.
Was not or
is not. So don't pick one that has pants.
Yeah, hold on.
Several of my characters. Did you throw the card in, Mike?
I did not.
I hope it has pants. Please have pants.
All right, here we go.
That's so ridiculous.
That,
All right,
that
the
one
one-
always gets picked.
It's,
Yeah, it's
that
hard not
card,
to.
that
It's
card
hard
always
not
comes up every single time I play this.
It's hard.
He never
Not
shuffles, he
wearing
just takes them back
pants,
on top.
Well, that would change that birthday party.
It's just a belt with suspenders.
I didn't know it was that kind of party.
Snug. He's liking
All right.
not having pants on.
Well, okay,
That's very likely.
Little
that
on
one's
the-
a little too on the nose.
little on the nose there. Pardon me, doctor. He's not looking pretty. He's not looking very happy about whatever's going on.
Indisposed.
Oof. I'm going to assume he is wearing pants, just for my own peace of mind.
Thank you, Jim.
Oh no! No!
Yes, thanks, Jim. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Another great year.
That's terrifying. I don't care what he's wearing. Wait a minute. I'm hoping this is the random card.
I hope it's not.
Oh my gosh. Ooh.
Oy. Oh my
Good
goodness.
choices
Now
out
look, I
there.
tell you,
Good choices
there are
here.
some
I
good
don't know.
choices here.
Man.
Do I go with the obvious one?
Well,
Oh boy, you know what?
I think number 2 is wearing a pair of jeans.
Yeah, I think he might be wearing some
Yeah.
low-rise jeans. I'm gonna go right here. There we go.
Really?
Who is it?
Me.
Oh.
Wow.
You're
You
gonna
can't
go
win
with the
this
clown
one.
guy
Why
eating
not?
a slice of
You're the
pizza
one-
through his mask.
This is the most terrifying thing.
Why
not? This should not exist.
Oh my
That
goodness.
looks like that meme
Really
you
quick.
see in the guy in the
Is this
in
the random
bathtub.
card?
Did anyone put this out?
No,
Okay.
that's the random.
Okay, good.
Appreciate you
Just
trying,
worth
audience.
checking.
Chat, you're not even trying anymore.
Yeah, yeah. All right, let's see.
What do we got?
The one you put a hit out on.
Oh.
Ooh.
One time we did the one with no
And I'm
pants.
putting
and
in
there was
the-
a
I'm putting
baby
in
that was
the-
paper.
Oh,
Michael, thank you so much, man, for your super chat too.
Thank you, thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks for all of
Been a
it.
great year.
I don't know. I don't
See you
think
in
the
chat.
DM put it
I
in.
don't know. I'm looking
That's
for
right,
a
yes,
decent
thank you.
one
I put
here.
one in. I
You
put
did?
one in
Okay.
already. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of these
Mix
names
them up,
I
Mike.
recognize.
I'm waiting for
I'm waiting
Steve.
for
Yeah, I don't
Michael's
have a lot of
pretty
good
easy.
Here we
choices.
go, here we go.
We have to have like a once per game refresh over here.
What do I Google to find these faces? I did like happy, sad. I went through like all these adjectives.
Yeah.
And then
No
looking
pants.
for faces.
That was
Wow.
Here we go.
Pantsless clown.
Nightmare fuel. All
How did you
right.
get from Creeper?
Are we ready?
Yes.
And this is
The
people
one-
you want to put a hit out on.
The one you want to put a hit on.
The one you put a hit out on. You
Not even
did
want
it.
to. You did.
did it.
You followed
did.
through.
Did it.
That guy with that pizza was my choice.
That's right.
No, he's the one who did the
Yeah.
shooting, I think.
If I turn this over and it's Bonacore, I'm going to be okay.
Oh.
There we go. Hey!
Oh.
She looks very
Oh my
clingy.
goodness.
All right. She does look kind of clean.
That's the guy
That
who
Weird Al?
She's
finds you the guy
one
who
putting the hit
to
out.
put the hat on people.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like a real life disco stew.
All right. Aw.
What did that guy do?
I don't know.
Clearly
Deserve
couldn't help.
Oh, come
possibly
on.
fail.
Honestly.
What did this guy do to deserve a hit besides have
I mean,
two
that's like
smaller
an inheritance
shoulders?
claim, I guess. Oh, man.
That mustache does deserve it.
Tom, what did you Google search for that last
Yeah,
one?
well, what emotion was that? Let's see.
No, I'm telling you, I just did all kinds of searches, and I went from no searches to other searches. I stayed, just cleared the dark web.
Oh goodness.
You were
It's
skirting
clear.
the surface.
This looks like you Google searched Tiger King before Tiger King was a show.
You know what? When I redo this, there will be
Thank
people
you,
from
Lisa.
Tiger King in here. Thanks, Lisa.
All right.
Oh,
Thank
man.
you. Thank you.
Merry Christmas,
Awesome.
Kill Miller. It's a new.
Is that Australia, I wonder? I don't know.
A.
Yeah.
Seven.
Yeah, probably.
I am going to go with this guy because he looks
Oh.
sleazy.
I'm in the market!
Oh,
That's really a disco stew there.
Why would you
Yeah.
hurt Weird Al?
Why would I
stew
not?
is not
Look at
self-advertised.
him.
You got to play to the judge. All right. There we go.
Alright.
Oh yes, the one whose call you've been dodging.
Oh.
I don't have too many good options here, to be honest.
I got too many good options. You want one of mine?
Nah,
We'll split
I got
We'll
one.
split the card.
Nah, I'm good.
Sure? Okay.
I'm gonna put the fake one in there.
Put it in there.
It is cool that the chat's from all over the world.
Chris.
Absolutely.
Super cool.
Do we have all these? Do I have them all?
Yep. Oh, I don't know.
Do
Did you
it.
put
There
one
we
of these
go.
in?
Did we put
I
one
did.
in?
I did.
Okay.
1, 2,
Alright.
3, 4,
He's
5,
got it.
6, 7. Is that right?
Yep.
Yep. I want to change mine. I want to put 2 in.
If I play Chris's hand, do I get 2 points?
All right, here we go. What
So
was
what
the
was it?
topic?
The one whose call I've been avoiding.
Oh, yes,
I've been
whose call?
avoiding.
Have you
Dodging
been
a
avoiding?
call, yeah.
Why is that guy calling me?
Are you
like-
interested in loaves?
Yeah, I'm buzzing.
Yeah, that's like a telemarketer.
What's he
right
selling?
there.
Is that loaves of bread or
Oh,
a
I
stack
thought he
of
had
paper?
flowers.
Oh no, I think it's like life insurance or.
That's like the
IRS or something.
Like I never met someone who actually looks like that. That's a movie character.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you,
That's a
Big
bad,
G.
that's technically
Big
like a
G,
bad
thank
play
you.
character. That's what that looks.
Oh, he's been isolation, recovering from COVID. Yay!
Oh.
Get out soon though.
Yeah, hopefully you're feeling better soon. There we go.
Oh my
Do you
goodness.
think that guy has a phone though?
He's calling
Like,
you
come on.
from jail.
That's correct.
For sure.
On a telegraph
He doesn't
machine.
call. He just shows up unannounced.
If I avoid that guy's call, I'm gonna get my knees broken.
That's
I
Jonah
think.
Hill in about 10 years.
Oh.
I wonder why
going
she's
on
calling,
there?
Tom.
That's like the
She's so funny.
crazy girlfriend.
No, I would take that guy's call. That guy gave me a taxi ride one time in Atlanta.
Yeah.
You remember that guy?
He was a musician, a pilot. He was like
a
everything.
photographer.
Yeah, that dude knew everything.
There you go.
Hey.
Oh.
Hey.
All right.
What? Wait, what's going on right
He's
there?
definitely combing his
sniffing
mustache.
It's like
Bacon?
Okay.
It's like your
All right. There's a lot of good
rich uncle.
choices
I'd take
here.
that call.
I would take some of the calls.
Mm-hmm.
I would avoid the guy in the bottom center, though, for sure.
You would.
Yes, he's out.
He's out.
Who is
Mr.
it?
Millstream, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Millstream.
Thank you.
I think that might be the random one.
Wait,
Sweden.
is this nobody's card?
Which one did you pick?
Is that the audience?
This one.
This one here?
mine.
That's mine.
Oh,
Mike.
no one ever answered.
trying.
I didn't hear you.
We're
We were
trying.
taking that, so I'll take that pink card there.
Give him the card.
All right.
I must take
Use
my.
things to
All right,
Roll.
everybody.
Roll.
Let's see what's gonna be here.
Oh, and Sebastian, thank you.
Oh,
Sebastian from
wow.
Poland.
Oh,
Wow.
there we go.
And Bruce
That's-
again. Thanks, Bruce.
Wow.
Weird.
We still need
So
to.
much love.
That was
is
the only thing I
amazing.
watched for 5 weeks was top tens. Wow.
That
Who's
is
the
so
one-
Wow.
Sweden. That's so cool.
That's
awesome.
really
Everybody from all around the world. It's amazing, folks.
Who is the one that still has a plastic wrapper on their couches?
Still has a plastic wrapper on their couches.
Yes.
Has anyone ever seen that in real life?
Oh, absolutely.
I've seen
really
it
have?
on
Oh,
kitchen
I had
tables, but
friends
not
that
on
had
couches.
that had moms that definitely had the.
I never saw it in the Everyone Loves Raymond episode.
No, it's very much a thing.
Really? But they're not comfortable.
No, and you're also not supposed to sit on
Although I
those
swore at
couches.
one point after the couch had been mutilated for the 5th time by children, I was like, we're getting plastic covers.
Yeah.
Or you're sleeping on the floor.
All right, here
All
we
right,
go.
what we got?
Kids
Plastic
sleeping on the
couch.
Is this the last
Did
one?
you make good on that threat? No.
Plastic
No sleeping on the
cover
floor?
couch. Holy smokes.
Thank you, Arjan.
Oh,
Ooh, thank you.
All right, here
Right.
we go.
What is
Plastic on the couch.
Ah!
Wow.
That
Yeah,
guy
so
is.
the blood comes off.
He's
Yeah,
He
yelling
right,
at you,
yeah.
get off the couch.
looks like that falling down character.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
definitely
He doesn't seem like the neat freak. type.
Mr. Road Rage. Here we go.
Yes.
What?
No.
Really?
Nah.
She doesn't own a couch.
Yeah, I agree.
What?
She's too young to own a
She's too old,
couch.
yeah.
Kids these days.
That's right.
With
That's what she looks like.
sofas.
She looks like that.
She's living
like,
at the Hot Topic. She's
What? Never been to
I
Octo.
think you mean.
No, that guy has a barrel and 2 boxes.
right. This guy.
Come
doesn't,
on.
This guy doesn't own a
That guy's
couch.
bougie. Look
No couch.
He's got a,
Did you say he was bougie?
He's bougie.
he's got
That has to be
plastic over his
realistic.
folding chair.
Regardless.
Oh,
That's a good.
Pretty
okay.
good ringer.
That's a good one.
Nah.
Is
Nah.
that the girl from Alias?
Oh my.
Oh.
That's terrifying.
She's telling you not even to go into her house, much less sit on her couch.
She's watching
Yeah.
you.
Ooh, glamour shots.
We're gonna go with this one because it just fits so well.
Ah, thank you very much.
I thought I had it. I had her.
Ah,
Intercepted.
no. Don't take my
Go
card.
around again.
We'll go around one more time. Is that good?
All right.
Sure.
Good.
Thank you. Happy holidays. Thank you.
And
Another
Andre.
for Sweden.
Sweden is tied with Canada. It's not a contest, countries.
We're not keeping
We're just
track.
grateful.
All right.
It's going to be an international incident.
The
before
one,
too long.
the one who's secretly holding a joy buzzer, one of those little like zzz, zap.
Oh,
electric
like
things.
Joker,
Yeah.
but less acid.
No, like it takes the joy away, or it gives.
It
what is
shocks you.
It shocks you, like
When
little.
you shake
hear
the
joy
hand, it shocks
buzzer?
hand.
You hear Joy Buzzer, you think Joker as your first?
Yes.
Like a.
Did no one ever use one of those?
Yeah. Bzzzt.
Yeah, they're great.
And I always
They're
thought
really hard to
Joker.
hide, though.
Yeah, I'm going to put a fake one in there.
According to the chat, we are approximately 100 years younger than you two guys. So no, we.
What?
Do we have all these in here?
Years. No, I'm getting there. Sorry. Being real slow. Okay.
All right.
Doing some AP faces.
The one who's holding a joy buzzer and zapping fools with it. Okay.
Here we
I'm gonna wipe
go.
my cards.
No.
Nah.
I'll be the judge of that. Also no.
Maybe.
Oh, that guy, he has it, and he also, you know he has it, he knows you know he has it.
And yet somehow
Did
they
he
convince you to
swallow
shake
it
his hand.
accidentally?
Yeah. He also has a little flower on his lapel that'll squirt water at you.
Yep.
I'm not sure about that.
Maybe.
No, you haven't seen that guy in 5 years. That guy just got buzzed.
Yeah, there's something else going on with him. I
Yeah, he's on the receiving end of the joy buzzer.
That's
I think
correct.
That's the issue there.
Shake my hand or else. Oh, that guy definitely has a joy buzzer.
Oh, yep.
That one
You think
very
so?
possibly.
Oh,
No, it's definitely Frankenstein.
Oh, it's so silly.
If this was me, I'd pick Frankenstein just because.
Right, Mr. Millstream is
Yeah,
super
shout out
chatting
to
again.
chat.
I think he really
Again,
wants
wow.
Sweden to be in the lead. Sweden pulls
Yes.
the lead,
No,
right?
I think he has
Wow.
a good point there for everyone in the chat. That's awesome. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
And that's a good one. I like that. Well said, Mr. Millstone.
Thank you.
Aw.
Unfortunately, it's got to be that one.
Yeah. Yep.
Who put in Frankenstein?
Oh, was that the people?
People.
I love
Oh, that
people.
was
Was
People
good.
putting
That's a
Frankenstein.
good one.
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
very
good
close.
one.
It almost seemed like the kind of like, hello, I'm here to tell you a human joke. Shake my hand. That's funny.
Ooh.
Got proud Swedes in the audience.
All right. The one who is petrified of crowds.
Oh, man.
Fake one.
Fake it.
Tell you.
Make it till you make it. Yes. Make it until you fake it.
Here we go. And this is.
So what is it? Petrified of crowds. The one who is petrified of crowds.
crowds.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That tanning bed.
Yeah, so he hides in tanning
He's not wearing
beds
pants.
to avoid being.
Definitely not wearing pants. Also.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Definitely not.
Is that Simon?
Simon Cowell character.
More like
yes.
Simon
Right.
Jowls.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like
He's secretly.
it's Simon
It's
Cowell
crap.
who's been grafted onto Jay Leno's chin.
Oh man.
And that person goes home and writes horror stories when they're
Yes.
around a crowd.
Correct.
There you go.
Well, yeah, because the pitchforks come out.
Right?
Also, it's a disembodied head, so let's just focus on that. Oh, okay.
Oh,
No.
he's a business
Okay.
man.
No, maybe.
A weird little kid.
Pigs.
Oh, that's
kid.
cute. Oh, that's cute.
Oh man. All right, that tanning bed hiding guy is pretty funny.
Well, that's your
Number
pick.
one. That's my pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not wearing clothes. He can't be in a crowd.
No.
That's
no.
the worst. Clearly, it's this
No,
guy.
this is the best by far.
Clearly, it's Discount Frankenstein.
Thank you.
Discount Frankenstein.
I did like discount.
I wish that the Frankenstein card had come out with that at the same time. That would have been amazing.
Oh
Good.
man.
All right, let's see.
What's it gonna be?
Oh, Mike has 3 cards.
Okay, it is going to
Run
be
away.
Should have.
the alien abductee.
Ooh.
Abductee.
The one who got abducted by aliens. The one who got abducted by aliens. And we're gonna
The question is, have they returned
All
and
of
they're
my
telling
cards
us
are, like,
about it, or are
very
they just
similar.
gone?
I'll leave that up to me, I guess. The one who got abducted by aliens at some point.
All right. I didn't love any of
I
our
already put an
options for
extra
that
in
one.
there, so that should be good.
All right.
That's okay,
Here
Mike. You have more cards than anybody else.
we go. No.
Yeah, and it's kind of a full pot to try to win a party game, Mike.
Oh,
No, this is
must win.
Yeah,
Huh?
Mike's first, but yes, you
Yeah.
can go ahead and start picking yours.
All right, here we go.
Let's see him.
Hit me.
At least he tells you that.
He's the one who is an alien.
Yes.
Why would the aliens? Sorry, folks, for the
I-
white out there, but that guy has this big giant Santa beard.
Yeah. Oof.
Okay, yeah, and he wrote the book.
Conspiracy.
Yeah,
You can buy a copy of it right now.
Yeah,
he also
yeah,
eats
yeah.
oatmeal for breakfast.
And this guy is proving how now he has a new skill since they returned him.
Yeah.
Okay. And they did dentistry work on her or what? Okay, that's terrifying.
Wow.
Okay.
That's definitely
Lab
too
experience.
Oh, I like that.
I thank you, Up the Irons.
That's
We
the
appreciate
beginning.
that.
It's like the beginning of the
Thank you
documentary.
for Vanessa, and of course, as always, thank you to Monica.
Vanessa!
It's amazing. Just seeing the different places in the world.
That's awesome.
I love it.
Yeah.
This is definitely at the beginning of the documentary. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm gonna go with this one.
Yeah, you are.
It's that one.
You were so close to mine. All right,
Were you Santa Claus?
that was the bottom one. The
yeah.
one he
Yeah.
said was the beginning of the documentary.
All right.
That's a good one. I like that one.
So is it me?
Is
I don't.
your
I
card.
need. Yes. All right. Here we go.
Come on now.
Oh my gosh.
What do you got?
What you got?
The one who knows 3 different kinds of martial arts.
Ooh. Need that ping pong player back.
Oh boy.
I put a fake one in. Oh, you're
That's
drawing.
mine. Yeah, I'm not drawing back up. Gosh, this is nasty.
I didn't see it.
Twice.
Knock it
Oh, I
out.
see it now.
There it is.
All right. Here we go. 3 different kinds of martial arts.
Who knows it?
Who knows it?
All right. Here we go.
What do we got?
Oh.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's,
Yeah.
I don't think you need to flip out the rest of the
I
cards.
know, right?
He says he knows 3 kinds.
Yeah. I don't believe him. Sure.
Sword, rifle.
The martial arts that guy knows is, hey, you guys go.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna stay up here on
I
this hill.
command you to do more.
Ah!
Oh.
You yell too much.
Is that the mountain? All right.
That kind of looks like the mountain.
He has a sword there.
Yeah. There's a sword.
No.
Okay.
Oh, did I kill you?
That guy knows burger food through and through.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Exactly.
Who's picking this?
All right. It's down to these 2.
Go with Granny.
Yeah. You know what? I feel like sometimes the first flop gets short shrift. We're going with Grant.
You are like,
It's a pity one.
oh, so close.
This was my second choice. That was a good call. That was a good call.
Did you get
Okay,
Granny?
whose is it?
Yes. Yeah.
It goes to.
Tom always
Oh,
roots for
okay.
the one that's not his because he knows people.
But not
are gonna pick
always.
it.
Not always. Sometimes I'll flip. Gotta
Alright.
keep
He's
it
trying
going.
to talk them out of doing it by rooting for it.
The one
I
who
see you. I
steals
see you.
towels.
The one who steals towels?
Steals
Well, you-
towels.
Ooh.
Okay.
Towel thief.
Steals towels.
Towels.
There are a few cards that are called, and I'm not saying not the one I threw in there, but there are some
Autoplays, yeah.
cards that you just play no matter what
No
the
matter
topic
what.
is. Whatever it is, it's going in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get
Super
it.
chat. Thank you, Michael.
From Tampa. Yeah, Michael.
Yeah.
What's the exchange rate on Tampa currency to here?
2 to 1.
$5 of Tampa is $3.23 in Miami, unfortunately.
Depends on if they send the $5 in the
Here
form of Ginny's ice cream.
We
Ooh.
go.
Ooh. Okay, so what was it?
Towel
Who
thief.
steals a towel? Who steals towels?
He needs them.
He rolls them up and sticks them between his fingers.
That's correct.
Yeah.
She might have a problem. She's like
know,
super rich,
maybe.
but she
She's
still
a
steals
klepto.
towels.
Secretly a
klepto.
So has to
klepto.
like keep it interesting by stealing them.
Well, she look like she needs a towel.
She stole. That lady stole everything in the hotel room.
She's,
Yeah,
Yeah, that's definitely not her
Yeah.
bathrobe.
she's swathed
Yeah.
in towels.
That she's not in her house either.
Oh yeah, that looks like that nice lady who you think super nice.
She's
but
got
then
you
she
fooled.
stole
Right.
Looks like her
everything.
leisure suit is made of towels.
She's from the
Yeah,
Dirty Dancing.
she sews her own clothes from towels.
The bride of
Oh, she would never
towels.
use anything secondhand.
It's a smirk.
All right.
It's a smug smirk.
Well, sure.
Towels weren't invented yet.
That's
The
correct.
pictures. You had to dry off by rolling in the
Alright.
grass back then.
I feel like I'm
That
down
guy's, like,
these
staring
two
into my
again.
soul.
Those are like the two hot spots there.
The hot
'Cause I
spots.
feel like,
Let me just move mine to that spot. though.
yeah,
Oh,
right.
what's going on?
Yeah, Mike
I
put
feel like
ours where
this
they.
lady sees a good deal, so she's like, "Oh, I like
What am
that."
I
And
doing
this
with that?
one's like, you
You
know,
need to stick mine in the corner.
rather than buying his own towels, just goes to the local hotel and takes it home with him. I'm gonna go with that one.
Yeah.
Is it? Oh, I take
Oh
it back.
my
Goodness.
Who was the old
goodness.
lady?
This one is
That was mine.
literally wearing a shower cap. I can't win this game.
I would have picked yours, dude.
Yeah, you and me, Z.
Some
We got
random
nothing.
dude.
Where's the pink card?
We got nothing.
I can't
The
win.
winner's card.
yeah.
I'm gonna flip this table.
Winner's
I'm
card.
up.
Because Mike keeps
Yeah, a
doing
little
yours.
louder.
Some random dude. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Oh, come Dice Tower East. Excellent.
Height.
Nice.
Oh,
You got
man.
tickets for your
Oh,
birthday.
Awesome
birthday.
present.
Can't wait.
All right, the
Hey,
one,
you can buy me tickets to Dice Tower East for my birthday.
Okay.
the one who would be unhappy to find their picture in this game.
Oh.
Very meta.
I like that. Oh, I think I have a good one for that.
I don't. Ah!
Give it back, give it back. I'll figure it out.
Now, to be fair, Troy makes a good point. The grandma steals salt shakers from restaurants, nice silverware, but maybe not towels.
That's
All right,
true.
well.
And goes to the buffet and shoves a bunch of fried chicken in her purse.
No, okay, fine.
Here we go.
Now, that might sound like a stereotype, but someone in my own family of that age demographic one time told me, like, I had to do it. These salt and pepper shakers were so cute. I thought, you stole from a restaurant!
All right. What is our...
And that's why you can't have cute things at a restaurant.
correct. What's the topic?
The one who would be mad that they're what was it,
Oh, that
Tom?
they're-
The one who's
Picture.
mad that their picture is in this
there
game.
It is, there it is.
No, they're good with it.
No, they're happy. They
Yeah.
pose.
What is in his mouth?
That's a
It's a
ring pop.
It's a ring pop, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I was looking to the side on it.
Yeah, she might take me to court.
Mm.
They just found out right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, she wants to be in the game.
She's thrilled to be there.
She does.
Yeah, maybe.
That's
Paparazzi like.
That's a designer
Yeah.
coat. Yeah, that's a different
Oh,
level of person.
yeah.
No, definitely happy to be here.
She's posing.
All right, so it's the three middles.
Who's picking? Oh, this is Tom's pick.
Yeah, you know what? Number 2 is doing the you caught me, but their hair and everything's perfect. So that's garbage. It's the bottom middle girl.
Yeah,
She
she-
hates them.
See
Finally!
those
That was
eyes.
mine.
Those
All right.
eyes.
Congrats.
Congratulations,
You got a
Zee.
point.
That was
Z.
the angry person.
That was whose?
there.
Me, that's mine.
All right, let's see here.
I was the only person that was
Sorry.
actually angry.
Trying
You
to
know,
just get in the way.
Huh?
mine was the only person there that was
I
actually
considered it, Chris.
You
but
did.
All right, let's do this one.
Oh man.
The person who is a time traveler.
Okay.
Time travel.
Time traveler. Give me a time travelers.
Should have saved that Doctor Who card.
Should have saved the Doctor Who card.
Oh man.
Yeah, I got literally nothing. So
I do too. Yeah, let's
Put
just.
Frankenstein
I'm just gonna pick blindly.
this one's
Bring
mine.
you bring it back.
There you go.
Chris is the other.
Chris, what are you doing?
That one's mine.
You're an agent of chaos.
Did you just throw in the whole pile?
Oh, he absolutely did.
You're the joke.
You'll be cleaning this up later.
All right.
And
here we
also,
go.
you'll be cleaning this up.
I've seen you throw paper at the camera today. I
Time
believe
traveler,
you
right?
do it.
Time traveler.
time
The time traveler. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Time wizard.
And also has been to other planets.
Also Rasputin.
He thinks he's a time
Oh,
traveler.
we,
He's traveling at, well, anyway.
He's traveling at normal speed.
Maybe he's the guy who discovered it.
Yeah, he's good. Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
You're right.
Discovered
He has
time
eyes,
travel,
though. He's got
right?
wonky eyes.
23 Skidoo.
Is that Betty White?
I don't think so.
I think so.
Oh,
Huh.
I
In
hope
the
they didn't
future,
discover
everyone
it.
dresses like this.
Hey!
Oh, how cute.
Is that
That's Camilla's random card.
Yeah.
that is
Ah.
you as a duck, Tom? How do you feel
Thanks,
about that?
thanks, Chris.
I think-
but yeah,
I
you're not
think-
far off.
I think I'm gonna go with the first Radagast looking dude.
That's
This
one.
guy.
All
I'm in,
right.
baby!
If it gets
There you
flipped
go.
first, you win. Isn't
Yeah,
that
yeah.
All right, how many cards
Well,
everybody
I
have?
thought about all of them.
How many
I've got
cards?
4.
The pinks.
I've got
Oh,
8 cards.
I got
Oh,
3.
pink cards.
I got
Yeah,
2.
nothing.
Those
4.
4?
Z?
I have one.
Mike Rack.
Mike is the winner! All right, folks.
That means we get a picture of him for a new card, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
yes.
Ready.
Hey.
All right,
Legacy.
we're actually going to call it here and go to some videos.
Yes.
Then we'll be back real quick to say goodbye, and then you'll see the funniest stuff of the year.
Hot
So
moments.
first, let's go to some top 10 lists, starting now. Hey folks, I'm Tom Vassell and welcome back to more Best of 2021 coverage. Now, we've already posted our best games of the year, the top 10 games of the year. But every year, there are a ton of games that don't make that list. So these are 10 more great games. If you want, you can think of these as my 11 through 20 that did not make the list, but they are still fantastic games and you should check out. So here we go. Number 10, or is it number 20? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Great games. Number 10 is Lawyer Up. Lawyer Up is a 2-player game in which you are competing in a courtroom, and one person is trying to prove that someone is guilty, and the other person is trying to prove that they're innocent. Now, this is not a game that is about that the verdict is predetermined. We don't even know if the person committed the crime or not. What we're doing is we're making arguments for that, and it's card play back and forth as you're trying to use cards to sway the different jurors to your side. It's a very fun theme. There's even a couple cool expansions for it where you can do kind of a mob trial or a Salem witch trial, and they play out very differently, but it's a lot of fun, works really well for 2 players, and it's some nice just back and forth, think of tug of war as you're trying to win the hearts and minds of the jurors. Number 9 is Necromolds. I was really pleased with Necromolds. This is a miniature game that I can play with my kids or adults even, and you make your creatures, these necromantic creatures that you bring to life, the little slime creatures, out of Play-Doh, essentially. And then you're moving them around the board, moving them around, fighting, rolling dice. It's a fairly simple miniatures game. Until you defeat somebody else's creature. Then you take this ring and you smash it, leaving it a pile of just bleh on the board. Now, the game is actually fairly innovative because you use, when you build your army, you have a little jar of Play-Doh. And that's your points you have to build. So the creatures that might have more special abilities or more powers take more Play-Doh. You don't have to sit there and go, that's a 30-point creature. No, that creature takes this much, clay to build it. And that makes it fun, and strategic. But at the end of the day, it's about smashing your opponents. It's really fast, really simple. Necromolds. Number 8. Oh, man. Furnace. Furnace is just a fantastic, straight up engine building game that just keeps getting better each time that I play it. I'm very impressed with this game. It's an auction game, and if you know my likes and dislikes, auctions are kind of been middling for me. But an auction game where losing is just as strategic as winning is a lot of fun. You then mix that half, the auction half, with the other half of the game, which is put cards and use these resources to do this. Very, very fun. So the first half, very interactive, auction. Second half, kind of a solo thing. So if you like either of those halves, put them together, I think you'll enjoy the whole thing of Furnace. Number 7 is Mind Management. Mind Management is a hunt someone down. It's based on these comics, which I went to read them because I wanted to do a little bit of background on the review that I did, and I ended up reading the whole graphic novel series. It was very interesting about these people who use mind powers. They're basically superheroes or villains. but it's all, ways to use their mind. Very interesting, and that's how this game is, as there is one person going around trying to recruit more people to the evil cause, and the other players are the good players trying to catch them. Think of a Scotland Yard style game, but this game also comes with ways to balance the game out. If the person who's running and hiding starts winning, then they start getting more bonuses, and then it kind of balances back and forth. But it is a more involved game than most of these. It feels fresh and innovative. Like when I talk about the games that came out this year, Mind Management is one of those where I'm like, this is not really like any of the other games. It's definitely worth your while to check it out. All right, number 6 here is Maglev Metro. Now, honestly, a lot of these best ones are also games I just was a little surprised by. Maglev Metro is a game in which you're running a little subway line, and the visual effects of this game has really stunning components as you place little clear tiles that show your subway line moving around, and it crosses other people. When you're done, the whole thing looks like a subway map, which I'm really happy about. But the game itself is really strategic as you are going around and picking up different passengers. There's robots in this game. As you pick up the different metal, silver robots and go deliver them off, and then you're dropping other people off at stations. But it's all through technology. Once you get these robots, you stick them in here. I can make my train move faster. I can have it pick up more people. I can have it drop off more people. I can increase the capacity of it. I can build more tracks. And I'm also going for different victory points. It's really not a huge game. It's small, but it's fast, it's simple. You get a couple actions. The great components comes together. This is a really solid game worth checking out, Maglev Metro. Number 15 is one of the biggest games on this list, and that's Dinosaur World. Dinosaur World was the sequel to Dinosaur Island, and I think it's better than Dinosaur Island. Dinosaur World, you're building your own dinosaur park, Jurassic Park. And as you do this game, you're going to be collecting tiles, building this park, and then driving a Jeep through this park to go ahead and look at the dinosaurs or other exhibits, a casino, a ring toss that's on the horn of a dinosaur, these different things, a food station. And you're trying to get points, trying to increase the excitement without having too many people die in the meantime. Because I might make a pen full of a lot of T-Rexes, but there's a chance some people get eaten in that regard. So all this comes, and there's a different phases of the game, a drafting phase where you're trying to get the DNA to get the right dinosaurs for your park. You are trying to put the right tiles, get the right workers. It's a fairly involved game, but when it's done, it feels very fulfilling, and I really like how the theme fits in here too. So that's Dinosaur World. Number 4 for me here is Chronicles of Drunagar. Dungeon crawls. Now, you'll notice I tend to like these style of games, although I'm always looking for something different and unique. Chronicles of Drunagar, which I played with my kids, was just a bunch of fun. It has this really cool mechanism. When you go into a new room, there's a little paper door there. You take this door, you open it up, and it shows you the next room. So it does Fog of War in a different way than I've ever seen done before in Dungeons. And that's nice, because you have this room. I don't have to look at a big map to see what's next. You can't see what's coming ahead. Instead, you open a door and boom, it shows this. And then I open that door and boom, it shows this. It also has interactions with different things in the game. And then there's combat, monsters coming around. And the combat is done almost in a Euro game style where you're using cubes. You do have these different color cubes. You use the cubes to activate different abilities. Except when you do that, then you're rolling, dice to see if you hit the monsters or not. And wow, it has a nice mix. It's a really good hybrid. The theme is a little generic of sorts, and it is a table hog, and it takes a while to play. There's lots of different a quest to go through, but you get to level up all the time. You get cool new things, and you have so many options of things to do. Each character feels extremely unique. It is a lot of fun to play. Chronicles of Drunagar. Number 3 is Terraforming Mars Ares Project. This is one of 2 games, the other I'll mention in my top 10. This is one of 2 games that has kind of knocked Terraforming Mars off my list. This is the card game version, and it is straight up half Terraforming Mars and half Race for the Galaxy. Well, those are 2 of my favorite games. Does the combo work? and it really does. Now, it's not as fast and smooth as Race for the Galaxy, but it is faster than Terraforming Mars, although not much. But I'll tell you what, the card play is what this one's about. Everyone simultaneously picks a card that tells you what phase we're going to run this turn. The person who played that card gets a bonus, but everyone gets to play the phase. And you're collecting money, increasing stats to build cards, and if you like the idea of having a big engine that lets you do a lot of cool things, this works well. It really is Terraforming Mars streamlined in many ways. It gets rid of the map and just comes down to collecting different cards. But I think the artwork is better, the graphic design works really well, and it's just a smooth, fun game that I've really enjoyed playing. So that's Terraforming Mars, Ares Project. Number 2 on my list of games that almost are, made my top 10 is Bad Company. Bad Company is one of those games in the genre of roll dice, collect resources. I love games like that. There's something about those that just really appeals to me. So in this game, you roll some dice, you collect resources, and here you're putting on heists. It's like an Ocean's 11. You have a bunch of criminals that are on your team, but then you can upgrade those criminals in a very funny way as their torsos elongate. I know it sounds weird, but go look at the review to see how it works. And as you build these people up and when you roll their number, you get more things. You also have a speeding car that you're trying to move along a track to keep ahead of the police. It's actually one of the faster games in this genre, and it's just fun. The theme comes through, and again, one person rolls 4 dice, split those dice into 2 pairs. They get to use both pairs. Everyone else uses one of those pairs. So you're doing something on everyone's turn. It's a lot of fun. Bad Company. And my number 1 game, like I said, this could be number 11, is Destinies. Destinies is a storytelling game in which you are going through this fantasy medieval world, and it's a weird player count here. It plays up to 3 players. And 3 players, I think, is the best way to play it. And you have different goals that you have as a character. And you're going around, and this is using that same scanning technology that was in Chronicles of Crime. It's from the same company, Lucky Duck. And you're going around and discovering things, using cards. If I use this card here, magic is happening. It's a really strong storyline. It keeps you interested, even what other players are doing. I really, really enjoy this one. It is really in depth. It has a very, very cool mechanism on how to make skill checks. It's one of the most innovative games I've seen that does that, because usually skill checks are roll a die and you need to roll higher than this number. Here you get to roll multiple dice and you're trying to match cubes that you're moving up and down these tracks. So you're trying to constantly move cubes down. Works really well, and I highly recommend checking out how that game works. That mixed with the technology, and I know some people don't like using apps in games, but I think this one works very flawlessly. It's a lot of fun, and it leads to some very interesting stories. So that's my number 1 on this list here, Destinies. So those are 10 more great games, and I don't want you to miss out on them. Check them out. This has been a fantastic year for gaming. Anyway, until next time, I'm Tom Vassell, and you've been watching 10 more great games of 2021.
Hey there, everybody. It's Mike DeLisio, and well, it is winter spectacular time, and that means it's time for a lot of end-of-the-year lists, and I am very happy to be bringing to you my top 10 solo games of 2021. Now, this is a year that I didn't play probably as many solo games as I have in previous years. Still have played quite a number, and there were a lot of really good solo games, as I hope this list will attest to. But maybe not as many as I played in years past, and let's see how this list shakes out, shall we? Let's get right into it. At number 10 is a big, sprawling epic of a game, Sleeping Gods. Now, Sleeping Gods is coming from Red Raven Games and designer and artist and publisher Ryan Lockett, and it is really a big, beautiful sandbox of a game. It is a adventure-style game, and if anything, it really kind of evokes the feel of something like Zelda Breath of the Wild in board game version, where you have the spiral-bound book, a very large spiral-bound book that's made up of a series of maps that are connected and kind of encompass this large world that you are exploring. And you are taking on the role of the crew, the captain and the crew of a ship, and you are trying to kind of go on adventures and go on quests and solve mysteries, and it's all done in this very, very sandboxy open world type of way where you can really go in any direction and do really whatever you want to do. Very, very, very fascinating game. I feel like even though I've played through an entire campaign and more, I feel like there is much, much more to explore. The reason why it's at 10 on my list as opposed to a little bit higher is that in the solo game, you really are controlling all of the characters, and that could be a little bit overwhelming as far as administering them. It's not terribly onerous. That's why it's still on the list. It's such a great game in general. But as a solo game, it is one that's still very good. I probably do prefer it multiplayer, but I have played through an entire campaign just solo, so it works very well that way. That's my number 10, Sleeping Gods. All right. Coming in at number 9 is another large game. This is Dice Throne Adventures. Now, this is based off of the Dice Throne system, which is really, in its original iteration, kind of a battle, almost a battle Yahtzee type of a game where you are taking on the role of a particular character. You've got some custom dice and cards that are unique to your character, and you're battling off against one or two or potentially three other of these characters, and it's a very head-to-head kind of confrontational game. What Dice Throne Adventures does is it takes that same system, and you can use the characters from Dice Throne in this system, and turns it into a cooperative dungeon crawl, which I think is great. And with it being fully cooperative, you can play it as a solo game, and it works very well as a solo game, where you can take on the role of one of these characters, and again, instead of battling against another player, you are working together, fighting against a series of larger and more tough enemies and going through a series of campaigns throughout this dungeon. Dice Throne Adventures continues on with this series of having amazing looking components, beautiful production, very large and lavish, and you can even get miniatures for it if you want to kind of heighten that thematic immersion. But I really loved Dice Throne, and I was thrilled to be able to get it in a format that allowed me to play it solo. So that's my number 9, Dice Throne Adventures. All right, coming in at number 8 is a much smaller game. This is really a small box, essentially card game called The Dead Eye. The Dead Eye is a very unique, it feels like a passion project. Just odd. It's odd. It doesn't play or look like any other game that I can think of. It has kind of a post-apocalyptic theme. It has a very stylized look that actually is stereoscopic, I believe that's the term, where you can play the game just as is, but it also comes with some 3D glasses that you could use that kind of add to this kind of almost ethereal, I don't know if that's the right terminology, but just it feeds into this unique visual aesthetic that it has. It's essentially a card game where you are trying to reach a series of destinations, and you're doing that by playing these cards that you have in your hand for one of two outcomes. You're either going to get, you're going on a particular, mission or goal, and you're either going to be getting a positive or a good outcome. Depending upon that, you are going to be able to progress further and further along on these runs, as they call them. So it's kind of an iterative game where you try to go further and further, and you can pause it at any point. It has a really nice system for kind of pausing your game and continuing on at a later point. It is one that really just plays in the palm of your hand. There is a little small board there, but that's just for organizational purposes. Really, everything is pretty much contained in the palm of your hand, and you play cards out on the table. Really unique game. It doesn't feel like anything out there, and that's why it made my list. Number 8, The Dead Eye. Coming in at number 7 is the card game version of one of my favorite games of all time. This is Mobile Markets, a Smartphone Inc. game. Now, you could kind of consider this as Smartphone Inc., the card game, and while that would be somewhat accurate, it feels very different. It's very much its own beast. It has some similarities, of course, with Smartphone Inc., but it is very much its own game. One of the things that I really appreciate about it is that it turns this kind of core experience where it's really an economic game where you are trying to create cell phones that you are selling to a market of customers. That's going to be a fluctuating market round by round. And you're trying to do so in such a way that you are making the most profit because you're setting the price on your phones. You are setting the particular features that your phones are going to have that particular customers may want. And you are trying to do so in such a way that you can potentially get access to those customers before other players. In the solo game, you are playing against an AI opponent called Steve Jr. And this is a nod back to the original Smartphone Inc., which had an AI opponent called Steve. Now, I always felt that Smartphone Inc., the base game, was not the best as a solo game. It's probably my favorite 5-player game of all time, but it didn't work as well solo. The expansion came out for that game and made it a better solo game, but I feel like Mobile Markets is the best iteration of Smartphone Inc. to play as a solo game. And so for that reason, it's number 7 on my list, Mobile Markets. All right, coming in at number 6 is Shaolia Great Houses. Now, this is actually an expansion to Shaolia Warring States, which was one of my favorite games from last year. And what this expansion does is a couple of things. It's a modular expansion. It adds some new elements to the Shaolia base game, but it also adds a full solitaire mode with, a potential for a campaign in there if you wanted to do so. So Great Houses is something that will set you up in a way that you are playing head-to-head against a virtual opponent. Really, the way Shaolia plays is kind of head-to-head battling where you've got your own kind of compound and you are playing cards from a market, you're purchasing cards, drafting cards, and you are building up kind of your tableau in front of you that have offensive abilities, defensive abilities. You can win in a multitude of ways. You can win just by knocking out your opponent's fortress. You can win by gaining a cultural victory. Some of your cards are cultural cards, and the way this works is that cards have dice triggers, and so you're rolling dice to trigger the abilities of the cards that you're getting out in front of you. And so the Great Houses expansion allows you to play against a pretty tough virtual opponent, and it feels very much like you are playing the game of Shaolia, and it's not difficult to administer the AI, something that I appreciate in solo games. And so whenever I can get a game that I really, really like that was never able to be played solo before, that now has a viable and robust solo mode, it always gets my attention. And that's why Shaolia Great Houses is my number 6. All right, coming in at number 5 is Let's Make a Bus Route, the dice game. Let's Make a Bus Route was a game from a few years ago from Sashi & Sashi, a Japanese publisher that was one of my favorite flip and write games. This was a multiplayer only game where you were trying to create a bus route on a dry erase board representing a Japanese city, I believe Tokyo, but I could be wrong there. And you are doing so by trying to pick up passengers and take them particular places. Now, Let's Make a Bus Route, the dice game, takes that same central conceit, the very similar feeling mechanics, but it turns it into a 1 or 2 player only game. And it has a very nice solitaire mode where you are really essentially trying to do the same thing but optimize. This is really kind of an optimization, efficiency type of a puzzle, and I tend to like those games quite a bit, where you are still doing the same core mechanic. Now, in Let's Make a Bus Route, the dice game, it is more focused on dice rolling, as you might expect by the name, than by card flips. But it still has that same feel, that same charm of Let's Make a Bus Route, and just in a package that is designed for 1 or 2 players only. Really solid solo game is Let's Make a Bus Route, the dice game. Coming in at number 4 is Merchant's Cove. This is a big, grandiose, asymmetric game, and the idea in Merchant's Cove is that you are playing as, surprise, surprise, a merchant, and you are trying to create goods that you are then going to be selling to customers who are coming into Merchant's Cove on boats. And the asymmetric nature of it is that every character is going to be creating those goods differently. So you might be playing as the alchemist, which has a little bit of a potion explosion marble type of a mini game. You might be playing as the blacksmith, which has a bit of a dice placement, dice manipulation type of a game, or as the oracle, which has a kind of a roll and write type of a mechanic. So you are all doing things, you're doing the same things, you're making goods and getting them for sale, but you're doing them in a different way. So you would think that this would not lend itself well to a solo experience. However, the solo variant of Merchant's Cove is fantastic because you're playing against an AI opponent called the Peddler who allows you to play any of these other asymmetrical characters, and it works really well. It's still going to be competing for you with these customers. It's going to be competing with you for market sponsorships, and it is a very tough opponent and is something that allows you, again, to explore all of these different asymmetric characters. It does so with a very clever card-driven AI Automa-style system that works really well. Merchant's Cove is a game that I have been very fond of this last year, and one of the reasons why I've been so excited about it is that I've been able to play it solo as well as multiplayer, and I've really enjoyed all of my plays of Merchant's Cove. All right, coming in at number 3 is my new favorite verb and verb game. What do I mean by that? Well, you've got rollin' rights, you've got flippin' rights, you've got all of these different types of things, but basically it's the idea of you're going to have either a sheet or 2 sheets in front of you, and you are marking things off based upon either flips of a card or rolls of a dice. This game is Hadrian's Wall. And Hadrian's Wall is coming from Garfield Games, which is a publisher that has produced a number of games that I've been very fond of. Hadrian's Wall is a heavy flip and right game. Heavy in the sense that you've got a whole lot of options ahead of you. Well, heavy in every sense, I think it's fair to say. There's a lot to consider in Hadrian's Wall. There are a lot of interconnecting mechanisms. Basically, what you're doing is you are flipping over a card that's going to tell you a number and type of workers that you have available to you that particular round. And you're going to be also choosing, as you play the game, end of game scoring goals that you are working towards. And so it's really nice because as the game progresses, you are constantly trying to have this kind of push and pull of using cards in such a way that they're giving you the resources that you need to be successful, but also using cards to determine what your end game goals are, scoring goals are. And I really like that. I also like that this is a game that gives you that kind of comboing feel that you tend to look, or I tend to look for in these roll and right, flip and right type games, but with much more involved. You've got 2 different sheets that you're working on, and you have to be thinking about so many different things. You're looking at these sheets, and it looks a little bit overwhelming, and it is a little overwhelming the first few times you play it. But as you get more comfortable with the system and how it works, it really all starts to come together. It feels like this clockwork, and you can focus on many different paths to victory. That's another thing that I like about it, is I have really approached this game in a number of different ways and have enjoyed it. That is Hadrian's Wall. Coming in at number 2 is a very ambitious, I would say, deck building game called Imperium Classics or Imperium Legends. They are basically 2 versions of the same game with different civilizations within. And so this is a deck building game based upon civilizations, ancient civilizations or legendary civilizations, as the corresponding titles would indicate. And so it is a heavy game. It's a game that had a pretty steep learning curve for me, but it really has paid off. That learning curve, that investment of time and energy that I spent into learning how this system works, paid off tremendously in droves with what a satisfying experience it is as a solo game. As a matter of fact, this is a game that is a multiplayer game that I prefer to play solo. It really is one that allows me to take my time, to really strategize, to work through these decks, because each civilization plays very differently than every other. They have different strengths and weaknesses. They've got different, sometimes winning conditions. And so it is a game that is complex. There are a lot of different card interactions, combos, triggers, bonuses that you have to be aware of and account for. And the AI system is one that is based off of kind of a series of flowcharts, and each civilization has its own individual priority flowchart that you consult. And so that can be, again, a little bit of a challenge at the beginning. It can feel a little bit overwhelming. But again, if you're willing to put in the time to learn this system, it pays off. It is such a rich experience. I feel like I could be playing this game for many, many years down the road. They've already released those 2 core boxes that each contain a large number of civilizations, and I feel like they could continue to add new civilizations, and I'll still be interested in checking them out. That is Imperium, Classics, or Legends. All right. Finally, my number 1 solo game of 2021, and I say finally, that's a little nod to this game. It is Final Girl. Final Girl is a game that is really brand new at the time of this recording, and it shot up to the top of this list. And you might say, well, look, if it's this new, how can you already say that it's your number 1 game of the year? There's a couple of reasons why. Number 1 is that Final Girl is an iteration, a kind of an evolution of a previously released game called Hostage Negotiator that I have played a ton. I played a lot of Hostage Negotiator over the years, which is a solo-only kind of it's not a deck building game per se, but you are using cards and dice that are going to trigger. The cards are going to, basically be the actions that you're going to take, and the dice are they're going to determine whether you are successful or not successful, or how successful you are on these actions that you're taking. Final Girl takes that core system and it changes the theme, and it adds a completely different kind of way you're interacting with that system. In Final Girl, you are playing in a kind of a slasher film, those old school like Friday the 13th or Halloween, those old school slasher, I guess they still make them, horror movies. You are the final girl. You're the last one alive. You're trying to be the last one alive that's going to finally defeat that bad killer who is at a particular location, and this is a modular system. So you can play with the core box. You have to, of course, have the core box, and then you've got all of these different modular boxes where you can play as different final girls that have different abilities. You can play in different locations that all have different setups and different kind of twists to the system. And you face off against different killers that all have different strengths and weaknesses and little tweaks again to the system. So it's a very modular, open-ended system that's built around the same core of card-driven actions with dice to determine your success or failure on that. It's a very tough game. It's very difficult to win, but it is very satisfying, and the theme is fantastic. Everything that Final Girl has added to what I was familiar with in Hostage Negotiator is a positive. Everything that they've added is something I'm like, yep, that's better. Yep, that's better. This is what's got me reinvigorated. I had kind of gotten a little burned out on Hostage Negotiator. This has taken that system and reinvigorated it and gotten me tremendously excited about where this continues to go, because it already has a large number of different ways you can play it. And I cannot wait to see what they do. I can already kind of tell that there's a lot of neat little tweaks that you can make to the system to keep it compelling, to keep you coming back for more. It is a solo-only game, which is, again, something that is also really nice to see that a publisher and designers are putting this much effort into a really tremendous looking and feeling product that is really just for solo gamers. So that's why Final Girl is my #1 solo game of 2021. All right, well, been a great year. Hopefully you solo gamers have found a lot of things that you have enjoyed playing. Let me know in the comments below what you think about your favorite solo games of 2021. And this is Mike DeLisio signing off from Dice Tower headquarters.
Hey everybody, Tom Vassell here, and we're now talking about my top 10 cooperative board games of 2021. I really think cooperative games are a genre which are really important. Some of these games could possibly be in my top games of the year because I like cooperative games. There's a lot of cool things you can do together, working together, and there's different ways to cooperate too. There's that whole let's go on an adventure, let's go on a dungeon, but there are other ways. So let's take a look at my 10 favorite cooperative games. Number 10 is 60 Second City. This is a 2-player cooperative game that they sold at Target of all places. I didn't think much about it when I got it, but it's pretty simple. You turn over some cards each round. They tell you you're going to score points for having these buildings next to these buildings and having a group of buildings that are all this color. And then you turn over these two-sided tiles and you start building out like dominoes. Real time, 60 seconds, and then it's time for the next round. We add more cards, and you have to get to a certain score to win the game. There are also cards you can add that kind of mess things up if you want with different events. It has some really nice components, sliding these dominoes onto the board, but it's just this fast and fun two-player cooperative game. There's not a lot of cooperative games that are specifically made for two people, and there's not a lot of cooperative dominoes-style games, so I think this one fits in this category, 60 Second City. Number 9. Now, if you are the same age as me, a Gen Xer, you'll remember the point-and-click adventures from when we were a kid. There are so many of them where you would have someone go over here and do this, or even back the old text adventures. Cantaloupe is a game that brings this to life. This is a game that comes in a book of sorts, and there's also cards that you get, and you are trying to figure out, okay, so I go to this location, I use this item on this location, and then that will open up another location. And in this game, you are basically trying to assemble a group of thieves to go and commit a heist, which is, I guess, in the second version. In this one, you're just trying to get the gang together. You can play this solo, actually, but you can also play it with a group of people as you're working together, going through, trying to figure out what to do. I mean, you can kind of brute force it. I'm going to use this item on every location, but you still might find yourself lost. It's written very tongue-in-cheek, has some really fun artwork. There's a lot of funny things you get, like little achievements if you try something ridiculously stupid or not. And I found it to be very enjoyable. And if you like those old point-and-click adventure games, this is the same thing in a board game form. So that's Cantaloupe. Number 8 is For Science. Now, For Science is one of the most unique games to come out this past year. In For Science, you are trying to stop a virus or multiple viruses, and you're doing this by building the cure. I mean, literally building the cure. You're taking building blocks and you need to put them together in a structure that matches whatever the rules are. Certain color blocks need to touch other color blocks. Once you do this, you then get tiles, and you'll place these tiles together so that you can kind of form the cure with special abilities and a lot of other things going on. This is more than just a box full of blocks. Although when you open it up, that's what you think it is. It's a box full of blocks. This is one I think a lot of people are going to miss out on, but you have a very fun, unique experience. Like, your job is to build the blocks. My job is to put these tiles together. My job is to kind of help figure out how everything's working together. It's a great cooperative experience. It's a fun theme, and it's just, again, so incredibly unique. For Science. Number 7 here on my list are the Role Player Adventures. So I played this with my kids. Role Player Adventures is a storytelling game where you're going through a fantasy world and you have different fantasy characters, and you start off as guards of a king, and at the end, wow, it really expands from there. Each of the adventures, and you can play 12 different adventures in this game, and they all follow each other sequentially for the most part. You go through, and it's paragraphs of text, and you decide what you're going to do next. Your decisions are going to change things that happen in the future, and the game has a very clever way of keeping track of what you've done in the past. But when you get to combat, you'll fight monsters or different skill checks. You're pulling dice from a bag, rolling those dice, and you need to roll very exact things. Like, I might need a 3 green, a purple 5, and a blue 6. Well, that's very random. It is. But you have cards and equipment that let you modify and manipulate these dice to get them exactly where you want them to be. Very clever system. It's a follow-up piece to the original game called Role Player, where it was all about manipulating the dice. But this has a very well-written story, comes together in a fantastic way, and it's something me and my kids are just really enjoying as we play through Role Player Adventures. So that's number 7. Number 6 is Chronicles of Drunagar. Now, this is a dungeon crawl. And dungeon crawls are cooperative games. This is a fully cooperative one where you're walking through a dungeon, opening doors, going into the next room, and fighting monsters. There's a lot of these games out there. What makes this one different? Well, a couple things. When you have a dungeon, you just see a room, and there's a little door card. You have a pile of door cards in this game. It will say, put door number 16 there. When you open that door, you take that out and open up that card, and it shows you the next room and the setup of the monsters in that room. Having a bit of a fog of war. It's such a unique concept that's fun. The other thing, though, is each character in this game is incredibly different from every other character. You get a bunch of cubes, and you're using these cubes to activate different abilities. You don't have enough cubes to activate all of them. Each ability can only be activated once before you rest. And it's a nice system that if you play a lot of Euro-style games, this is going to make sense. But then you're still rolling dice and fighting monsters. It comes together in a really good package. Chronicles of Drunagar. Number 5 is a game that marries technology to the board game, and that's Chronicles of Crime 2400. Now, this is a sequel to the other Chronicles of Crimes game, but this one has a very different feel to it. In this one, you're going around and you're talking to different people and scanning QR codes and learning and looking at the scene of a crime, but it's in the future. It's very much RoboCop, Blade Runner, all this sort of thing. You're also jumping in and out of the internet or the net, meeting people's avatars, using special cyborg abilities to figure things out. It's really well done. It's my favorite of this series so far. I think that if you like sci-fi at all, you're going to enjoy this. If you like the Chronicles of Crime series, this does a really good job and also brings in that futuristic aspect to it with some really cool storylines. The episodes that are with it so far, the different adventures you can go on, I think are really well done. So Chronicles of Crime 2400. Number 4 on Cooperative game is Sleeping Gods. This is a big, grandiose game here. This game in which you can do whatever you want. You have a gang of people from real life who've been swept into one of Ryan Laukatt's just fantasy worlds, and then you just go off on adventures. Go where you want. It gives you kind of a point of what you're trying to do, but you could play this game, which by the way is like a 17-hour game or so, broken into pieces. You can pause and play it again. But it just feels like you're in this vibrant, interesting world. You're going to come across weird enemies, weird situations. You're constantly making tests and doing things, trying to keep everyone healthy, keep your ship from falling to pieces, but going out and exploring and finding just interesting things. The whole game just feels like this really... It's a fantasy world that is different than other ones. You can go anywhere. You talk about a sandbox game, this is one of those. You're never going to be able to see everything in this game, but also, who cares? It's that much fun. Sleeping Gods. Number 3 is Vagrant Song. Vagrant Song is a game, and this is kind of like a dungeon crawl boss battler. In this game, you're a bunch of vagrants on a train. You wake up, you're like, where are we? And oh, we're on a train that's headed towards the afterlife. Oh, no. But here's the thing about Vagrant Song that I enjoy so much. One, the artwork is very 1920s, 1930s cartoon Betty Boop style. Cuphead for more modern things. I love that style. 2, the theme works really well. You are trying to bring back lost souls and regain their humanity while not losing your own humanity. And then it also has great mechanisms, pulling tokens from a bag, rolling dice. There's a lot of cool things in this game. Watch the review for full details. Very highly recommend it. Vagrant Song. Number 2 is a game that I love playing with my oldest children this year, and that's Adventure Tactics. Adventure Tactics is a deck-building adventure game. Each round of the game, each level, I guess, you're going out, there's some bosses, you fight these bosses and different minions that they have, run around using cards from a deck. Everyone has a different character you pick. But what makes the game tremendously fun is that each round you get to level up. That's fantastic. You get to increase your levels, move up. If you like Final Fantasy Tactics, that's what this feels like as a board game. I'm just so impressed with just how well this game comes together. We're playing through this with my kids right now, and I'm a necromancer, but maybe next time I decide to go through and become a paladin, and there's so many different classes and cross classes. And this sounds maybe confusing, but it's not. It's done so in a very streamlined, easy to get into way. This is a game a lot of people have not checked out, and I really recommend you do because it's fantastic. Adventure Tactics. And number 1 for me of cooperative games this year is a trick-taking game of all things, because it was the number 1 cooperative game for me last year. This is The Crew Mission Deep Sea. So this is a follow-up to The Crew, and it kind of makes the original one irrelevant, which was one of my favorite games of all time. But the Crew Deep Sea, you turn over some mission cards depending on how hard you want to play, and they might say something like, you can't win any tricks. You have to win 3 green cards and exactly 3 green cards. And you have to take the purple 9 or the pink 9. And then we have to make it happen with very little communication. There's a little bit of communication, but not much cooperatively. Again, just a fantastic, interesting way to play this game. I have so much fun as I go through this. Just a lot of fun, and it makes it my favorite cooperative game that came out in 2021. A lot of great cooperative games, a lot of ones I wasn't able to even talk about because so many good things came out this year, but these are my 10 favorites. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. Number 5 is Destinies. But this is not a cooperative game completely, and in fact, it shouldn't even be on this list. Oh, Merry Christmas! Okay, so a couple last-minute announcements. Amanda Sheridan.
Oh, you have to remember. Okay.
Congratulations, Amanda Sheridan. If you're watching, email me. You won the contest for the giant box of games that Kenny's putting together.
That's awesome! Congrats!
Amanda.
Candy, it's Amanda. Put some good stuff in there, okay?
Definitely.
All right.
Look her up.
So this is the end of the Winter Spectacular, almost. We're about to show you some clips, and it will end there. There will be a few reviews from some of our contributors going up for the next 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I think.
Yes.
Those 3 days, a few, and that's it. We're going total silent the following week. It's Christmas. It's vacation time. We need to take a break. We'll be off. We'll be back. But hey, when we come back, we got videos, reviews, top 100's happening, and you can vote for the top 100. People's Choice Top 100. You can go to our website, go to Top 10 tab, slide down there, and it will say Vote Top 100, and you can vote for the top 100. Lots of people have already, and we'll be doing that in January. Our Kickstarter's coming soon. Whew. But for now, we want to take a break here. But some credit here. Everybody here worked very hard at putting this together, but a lot of work. Roy, running like 90% of the stuff.
Yes.
And then Mike and Roy and Chris and Z put a lot of videos and thumbnails and stuff together. There's very little that you see.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter Holly did the background decorations.
Nice. Good job.
That kid's got a future, yeah.
Yeah, see?
Well, she better have a future. She's going to college this year. And then just a lot of things behind the scenes. We appreciate Stella and the different contributors who sent in top 10s. And we're going to take a lot of this stuff out and just put it separately later. Later. Anyone have any other things you want to say before we say goodbye forever? Not forever.
Oh my goodness! Wow. Just a big thank you to everyone who's been sticking with us, watching, cheering us on, just being a part of what we do. Obviously, this would just be people hanging out in a room playing games without all of you watching and being a part of it. So thank you. We saw a lot of you from all over the world a little earlier today.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. We appreciate you. You make this feel like a two-part relationship. So thank you.
We have the best live chatters in the game. No question about it. We love the live chat. Thank you for being so supportive, being kind to each other, and making this a fun place to be.
Steven Ekman just proving.
My goodness. Wow.
We shall enjoy a vacation
Thank
here.
you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, so what we're going to do now here to end us out, assuming everyone is done.
I'm good.
We're going to be showing you a video that Chris edited. You guys sent in clips. I could not put in all the clips.
Yeah.
Chris got sent hundreds of emails.
So
my
many.
goodness.
So many.
Yes.
Okay.
Cool.
A lot of emails, so we just picked as many of the clips as we could, put in a video. So it's just going to be this. We'll also separate this out later on as a separate video. But here's all the goof ups and stupid things we did and funny things. We enjoyed it. We enjoy you. A very Merry Christmas from all of us. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell. We'll go this way around. It's easy.
I'm Camilla Cleghorn.
I'm Mike Delicio.
I'm Z Garcia.
I'm Kenny Tardino.
I'm Chris Yee.
And I'm Wendy Yee.
And I'm Roy Kennedy.
That's Roy Kennedy.
Some people are just rude and you can't help up with them, and you plan. You plot behind their back. You plan until the day where they're not looking. Maybe they're sorting hats. Maybe they're tying their tie. And you can finally make your move.
What's going on here? This is turning into a really long example.
I'm threatening you, but in a sort of cute, like, haha, this is not admissible in court kind of way.
How do you define your ranking system? What's a 10 versus a 9 versus an 8.5? 10 is amazing! It's like one of the best games I've ever played. 9.5 is almost as good as that, but it's not quite that good, but it's really good. And 9 is fantastic. I mean, it's not a 9.5. Are you really getting a real level? Come on now! Wait.
We're gonna have to do the flooring in this room. This is off.
An 8.5 is excellent. I really like that game. I mean, it's not as good as a 9. I don't want that one in my sight because it's trash. There should be like a Mikey. We should recreate that commercial with board games.
No, we should not. That commercial scarred me as a child. Do you know how many times I heard that at school? Mikey likes it. Hey, Mikey.
An 8 is a pretty good game. I mean, it's just shy of excellence, but man, almost there. 7.5, this is a fun, solid game. I really enjoy playing this. I'll play this. I mean, I'll play it more than I'll play the 7.
All right, Mike, you're gonna drop the ball in for us.
Oh.
Mike is good at dropping the ball.
Hang on.
Do you get my joke? It was an insult.
You know what? Life is full of disappointments. If it's disappointing,
I know, that's why you're on the show.
Look, see, you're on TV.
So let's start with a game that's so good they bet you'll throw your old school games away. Moonpreneur. The ultimate.
Bro, that Chris guy's so handsome and funny. I hope that everyone does the wicked awesome stuff like this. So when Roy did his intro, he was all, man, I'm gonna make mine way more fire than Chris's intro. He's gonna be shook.
I promised them we're gonna finish this. Why do you all look so suspicious?
You said that about adventure tactics.
Like what happened to Stuffed Fables.
Play the game a lot because you do start then assigning meaning to the different buildings, right? The soldiers do their thing, of course, but some of these are about making goods. Some are about selling them, some are...
And then Mike kind of be all like, bam, CSI Miami. The kid's gonna think this is Gucci. No cap.
And when I first saw this game, and I thought it wasn't done yet. I was like, oh, no, we got a copy now. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. When is this coming out? It looks very promising.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Oh, you're not pregnant.
It says no more events day in my calendar. Yeah, right. But let's keep going. At noon, we start Galaxy Trucker, and
6.5 is almost what I'm looking for in a game. I mean, it's good. There's just a few small problems.
Mike, I need you to go.
All right, I'll go.
No, I meant leave.
Home.
Okay. Taxi!
Mark's gonna talk about some Kickstarter stuff, and then we'll be back with the non-board game stuff.
Okay, we'll let it work. My computer's trying to die again. It won't let me press the button though. Hold on a second. Press the button.
I'm a 32-year-old immature man. How have I never heard the term firea?
I know.
Press the button. Press the button. Press
Entertainment.
Press the button.
Free entertainment for you.
Press the button.
Mark Street. Mark Street.
4. Ugh, this game is pretty terrible. Why are we playing this game? 3. Ugh. This game is horrifyingly bad.
See this little... Oh, you guys can't see.
No, we can, so you know what you should do. Press the button.
Yeah, the batter was trying to die all the way dead.
If it's all the way dead, get the paddles and then press the button. Press the button.
Well, you know what, folks? While we're waiting, if you can hear us,
Are we live?
Dice Tower preview recap.
I did see that there was one comment of the 9 that was basically saying something along the lines of, can you guarantee that the spinning thing at the bottom is not going to get dislodged and swallowed? That seems like a good question to ask.
So we're gonna do our top 10 terrible game names.
My number 8 is for a game that I actually very much enjoy, Calico. The reason why I have an issue with this is because that's not a Calico! This did inspire me. I'm designing a game called German Shepherd. Here we go.
Fingerbot Plus!
Fingerbot is back! Fingerbot.
Number 3, 878 Vikings. Why is it 878, not 877? Why is it not 879? Why is it not around 900 Vikings?
Are you kidding?
Finger bot.
Finger bot. Finger bot.
Press the button. Press the button.
Finger
Press
bot.
Bad
the
news,
button.
everybody. The Kickstarter is over.
Oh. Good news, you can pre-order it. Finger bot.
Press the button.
2. Why was this game even made? It's not. And a 1 is an abomination to humankind.
It's time to vote on your pick of the week.
Finger bot. So really, Robot Quest.
Push that. You can jump on top of this one and push that one, which then would fall down. I mean, there are so many little rules in this game. But it's supposed to be like this goofy, like, ooh, a bone.
What is this again?
3 bread.
No, I'm sorry.
Really? What if I give you another 1? Or if I made it 10? I'll make it 10.
Strategy.
It's only 1 contraband. Oh, it's 2 actually. Sorry.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Tom Vassell.
This looks quite bad. I mean, like, I know that sometimes for British people, when I say quite bad, they think it means like mediocre. So let me restate that. Yeah. This is a steaming pile of garbage.
I was expecting the skies to open, the moon to shine on me. By the way, did you see the moon this morning? It was amazing.
It's a hunter's moon.
Yeah.
That was the best moon I think I've ever seen.
Wow, that's a bold statement.
Top 10 moons.
Top 10 moon.
Tom seems to think the Earth has more than one moon.
Chris made the PowerPoint. Therefore, he just copied every single one of Mike's picks. So, and he's first in the order, so he's gonna say them before you every single time.
This is ridiculous. This is why I don't like sitting to the left of Chris when we play games. Is it the other way around?
You don't like sitting next to me on either side, really.
Well, that has nothing to do with that. You're joining the Dice Tower definitely raised the overall intelligence, culture, and stud factor. Is that a thing? Of the team. But which one would you say was your greatest impact? Well, I tell you, this is tough. When looking at my many positive attributes, how do I choose just one?
Print it.
4? Huh? What's the matter with you on Blue Moon? You are...
He hates it.
Wow.
You didn't know that?
I knew he didn't like it
I
as
mean,
much
I've
as we
been
did.
being tortured, okay? I don't want to put...
When you finally win one of those, and get one of your flags on there, and then someone immediately puts a dreadnought over it, and you're just like
Who
the
would
next
do
round.
that, though, Roy? No one would do that.
It's like, cool, you barely ever get...
Do you like this game?
No, I do not.
You
No, I do
still
not.
have them.
No, I do not. No, I do
Because
not.
they're very expensive now.
You're kidding me, right?
I'm really kidding. I mean, like
Like
super
$5.
kidding.
Yeah.
These are...
They're selling them at
Is there a
Publix.
word that means less than worthless? I actually have a joke in
that.
my head, but it's so mean. I'm not going to say it. Not about you, about a game.
Animal, eat this.
Oh, animal. Bonk.
Love you, Bonnie.
Gareth is talking about, would you prefer cards for hands or dice for teeth? When I clean up after a dog with the old style of doing it with a bag,
Stop, this is not going to
you
go anywhere
close
good.
it, you tie it up,
Right. Around
and
your
then
neck.
you wear it like a
Look.
pendant.
All right, let's go. Like St. Bernards, they keep the little thing around their neck.
Talking about, Gareth, what's happening?
Ready, set, go.
My God, sorry.
There we go.
Wait, does Tom really have a bib?
Well, yeah. Kids, don't do this at home.
We hit $400,000. We'll waterboard
Can he cut
Tom
you
Vassell.
No, we will not. 400. In the game called Rescue Polar Bears.
It's very on the
Pretty
nose.
Temperature.
Self-explanatory.
Data and temperature.
Nobody walks around saying full titles. Nobody does that.
Only kids, when they go to a movie theater, you'll notice this, where they go to a movie theater and they're like the one buying the ticket. Yeah, hi, can I get 2 for The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King?
And I would have been golden.
Oh, I got a message from Z.
Oh, good. We're funded. Yay!
Yay!
I just realized we can lock that door.
So we're going to make a banner
No,
for
we're
that.
not.
Did it happen again? He didn't even open the door!
A lot of these games have been painted, and because of that, it's so like they will be able to come in. Hunting bears.
Not hunting,
Not
you're
hunting,
like
Tom.
viewing them,
Definitely
I think.
not hunting. No.
Oh,
With
for
your
two, Tom.
eyes.
All right, this is Mike Delisio coming to you live from the old, outdated studio. And here you can see these are games that are to be played. There's a Chris Yu. Wild Chris Yu appeared.
Anytime you record something, it's live, Mike. That is not what live means.
Let's not get caught up in the details.
Good vibrations.
Good morning, everybody. And that's Orleans. Orleans, which is definitely.
You can't, Tom, I gotta point out, you cannot do the Orly part, but then also pronounce the S. Pick one or the other. It's either Orleans or Orleans.
Orleans.
There you go. Otherwise, you're driving my brain is going bananas.
Well, the reason I like Orleans.
The hamster dance song.
Hey.
I'm Vassal.
Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vassal. Today we're taking a look at a game called Groundhog Day, the game. And howdy folks. I've stopped caring. Hey folks, I'm Tom Vassal. Welcome to the Dice Tower. Today, have we done this before? No! Right now, Mike wins the game because he's using his power to win the game.
I'm using my power to win.
I also have his power.
Yay!
All right.
All right.
This is
It's
killing.
been zapped. Chris, do you have a Mobius tubes you'd like to play right now?
It would be hilarious.
I actually like the art somewhat for this game, but every single person
That's it, we're throwing
that I
down.
have played this game with, to a person, has absolutely
Violently roused.
detested. Plus points for using
Is that your
Ralph.
word of the day?
Yeah. Everyone hates Circus Flocati, the Grail Games edition of Circus Flocati.
Yes! It's hilarious!
How did I forget this? Okay.
I see you eating your chips. I'm ready to go with my sandwich as well.
I've got an announcement. You remember that game you guys worked on last year?
Forgotten Waters.
Forgotten Waters.
Forgotten
not
Waters.
Yeah. It just won the Dice Tower Award for Best Theming.
Wow, chicken has that one. Not even in the top. Super chicken. Quack, 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 quack. Oh, for super chicken.
Is this our musical episode of Crowd Surfing?
Yes, it is.
I like.
Sing again.
He opens his beak, sounds come out. The internet comes crashing down. It's Delicio.
Breaking the internet.
Delicio.
You guys can hear it now.
Oh, we can?
It explodes.
What do you mean it explodes?
That I really would like to try. So add that to the list.
Put it
of
on the list.
Things.
Chris is, Chris is keeping track for us now. He's making
Ain't
a
nobody
master
gonna tell
list.
me this. I'm over here with a pen like a caveman.
And the final race! Oh, it's snakes!
Oh, snakes!
Ah!
Snakes on a tractor!
Pulls down a game, plays it by himself. Mike Delicio's top 50 solo games.
Doesn't require a lot of brain power. Can be played, like you said, by someone who isn't really into games normally. That's where you're at.
Well,
This is not a gotcha. I'm not trying to like, set you up.
you're doing so much I don't know. No.
I'm just curious.
Just get ready.
It's basically a
You ever
game
seen a
that
Venus flytrap? Just get ready. You're about to get rocked.
Your cat or your dog, mostly cats, died. I want to remember my
Passed away.
cat.
Be nice to the pets.
Sorry. Kick the bucket. These people who make fairly realistic looking
Like
dogs.
really realistic. Okay.
Realistic enough to firmly cross over into creepy territory.
The
At first I thought they
Uncanny
were actually
Valley
stuffing
applies
their-
to animals because if it does not, it does now.
This is deep fake felt.
For my number one is a game about arena conflict, a game that's extremely thematic. It utilizes dice as gladiators, and that is Strike, my number one.
Have you ever thought, let's go out for coffee and I would like to have sticks? This is horrifying.
If I'm coming to this place, if the snake is not the one serving me my beverages and danishes, then I'm out.
This product is made to avoid the hassle of classes.
You walk into your local cafe, you can't see.
That's a snake!
All right, so let's start off with components.
It's ugly.
Tom is wrong. Tom is wrong. Tom is wrong. Tom is wrong.
Some lovely updated art there.
Yeah!
Really cutting edge stuff.
So liquid soaps inside a container that then turns into a bar of soap.
No, it doesn't turn into
No,
it.
no,
It
I
is a
think
bar
it-
of soap.
I
It
wanna-
doesn't transform magically.
At the end of the day, I think this is revolutionary, and in fact, we came up with a couple of other products.
We did.
That
Go
we
ahead, Z.
think should use a very similar methodology. Milk instead of in a plastic jug
Comes in a
in
cow?
a cheese container.
That's unbelievable to me. This is such a good year.
Mike Boo. I don't care.
Let's keep
Rain
going.
your hate upon me.
A cash grab. That's all this is. They made this game because people who like Doctor Who will buy it and play this piece of nonsense. I am tired of companies trying to make a quick buck off people where they'll come and buy the game. Well, it's over there now.
Drop mix, and this is where you get to be a DJ. Waka 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 waka. That's my DJ impression.
3, 7, 2.
Just kidding! Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tom Bassel.
What's happening? My name is Z Garcia. Hey, hey, hey.
I'm Mike Delisio. For some reason, I don't have a computer.
Yeah, that's a Fuzzy Bear impression.
That's what you just did.
No, mine was DJ. Look. Waka 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 waka.
My number 10 is a trick-taking card game. Or as the game says, it's about ticks. So it's actually a tick-taking card game. And it's called You Suck.
If that sounds like a great deal, well, it is. But you don't have to just take my word for it. You could take my word for it. Wow! Thanks for coming, Professor. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
Fingerbot, fingerbot.
This is one of my
This is Fingerbot
Plus. That's correct.
Now with more
This is my number 4 is Kalis.
People really thrive on murder. I like the number
Well,
of people.
not the ones on the receiving end.
So next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
I'm Mike Delisio.
Have fun in the shower.
Oh gosh.
Apparently, he found out that cover was styled off of some, I think, French television show in the 1960s.
Time.
Oh, there's the guy. There's the guy. he was
There's that
modeled
guy.
on.
There's
See?
that dude.
That's the guy he was modeled on right there. I mean,
It's the same guy.
It's the same guy.
It's
I'm
amazing.
sitting there eating. A guy comes to attack me. I'm like, hang on.
You know the part of the move where you are pretty sure you accidentally put something in a box that you shouldn't have, and it could be anywhere in the bottom of any of these things? Box cutter.
Not gonna hit
Yeah, didn't pull that down on his own.
We have a contest for 2 copies of That Time You Killed Me. It is a 2-player game that is both very thematic and abstract at the same time. And then answer the question, how many players can play That Time You Killed Me?
Have you ever felt like getting yourself some 3D printed sandals? How about if they're really heavy?
Get to the fart.
If you like Stardew Valley, the board game, I think you'll like this, guaranteed. And we all liked it too.
Well, if they like the board game, they might as well like the board game.
All in
Done with this
on the Jeeple terminology. All in.
I hate that, but anyway.
It's a Jeep Meeple. It's a Jeeple.
I don't have to call everything wood and put eeple.
You're not one of the Jeeple people?
You can buy more than one, can't you?
Yes, I meant you shouldn't. It's
Well, I
not fair.
can't.
None of the rest of us have got
Okay,
one.
Oh, that's. Didn't know we were playing with toddlers. Okay, 6.
Dang!
Okay. What is this? What? Why?
I said carbonated. That's not carbonated. That's caffeinated. This is a good week. This is you know, feast or famines. I'm putting on a bib because this is a feast today. I'm gonna have a fork here. I'm gonna have a fork here. We've talked about dice stuck within soap before, and I've talked about there's so many problems with this on a practical level.
I only rolled 7 spaces. I can't get away from all the ghosts. I totally could. I absolutely could. I just wanted you to end the game. Daughter, if you're watching this in the future, I'm sorry that your childhood was a sham.
Right? That's amazing.
Take a picture.
Do we literally pull us off and take a picture?
No, not like a no.
Do you not know how to take a picture?
Oh, this way!
A selfie!
I thought I had to go this way!
My number 1 game I have played in places that I am ashamed to say I have played it.
Overall, it's really just about hanging out with your friends and reading through the storybook and having fun.
That's called book club.
Where?
One of the highest stretch goals is actually Les Bonacore.
Oh, Snot Rocket! Rocket's into the lead!
Oh, my goodness.
It's coming out of the nose!
Oh, Tom.
Cupcake stops Snot Rocket from winning. Alrighty.
That's a sentence I didn't think I'd hear today.
Pacific Rails Inc. is a worker placement game in which players are trying to build the Transcontinental Railroad across the United States of America. Wait a second. Just for reference here, United States of America, United States of America. All right, we're looking good.
You're going to be making a list for war games.
Tom's in order to complete.
Is this fish and chips?
Wow! Are we showing everybody else's just in case? Mine was terrible. Mine was worse. Mine was just
Abstract game. A very serene game, you might say. Very mystical game. Gorgeous. You would think it would have a title that would sort of take you to that place. But not so much. It's called Dragon Face.
Okay, ready? Yeah. I'm gonna go with horse.
Yes! Yes! Drop a beat, Android.
Board games are fantastic. You should try some board games. And they're like, look at this one. And I want to slap it out of their hands and be like, no, that's not a board game. That's wickedness in a box. Mostly it's air.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to What's Happening. Couple of things. I'm a fresh-faced baby. I know.
Get off my back, Z, about Duel of Ages. It's fun.
Is Dexterity Jane a perfect game? No. Is it a good game? No.
I wish I wish I would have made different choices.
I am full of regret.
Why are they doing this nonsense? This could have been amazing. A swimmer that shows cleavage for men. No! No one wants to do that.
Okay, first of all, I don't like the fact they call it cleavage. That just, for some reason, I just have a problem with it.
What would you rather they call it?
So that's how you lose. Yeah. Today we're doing our top 10 robot games. Now, as I gave very clear instructions.
They were clear.
Look, I was very confused.
Right.
So I did top 10 dinosaur games.
How am I supposed to know what's going on? This doesn't even really have pages. It just keeps folding. So I thought, look, this is a robot list. I'm a human, right? I've got human blood coursing through my veins.
As far as we know.
Dude came up with a great idea. He said, you should have a robot rank your list. So that's exactly what happened. I don't know the order of my list. Robot, can you tell me what my number 10 is?
No.
I love it.
You guys are saying things he doesn't like and trying to build Z up. I'm here to tear him down.
This is Takanoko.
I know this one.
Maybe I do this. That doesn't even seem right. What do we got here, Mr. Robot? Number 8. Number 8.
Don't even act like don't even look at your list. What a waste of your time.
It says I heart robots.
All right. Punch your mother.
What? She's not here. She's out of range. How does this piece even work? Like, oh, come on!
You know, we never went in there. Never went inside. There's a thing that's leaning on the outside. Well, let's peek through the hole and see what we see.
I'm the Podfather of gaming.